What's up guys? So we ended up running into some problems the last time I worked on the Subi. After I put on the Tomei exhaust manifold, everything was actually doing pretty good. The power was there, the acceleration, it was better than the unequal length manifold, so that's a plus. But after 2 weeks of driving the car, I did a pull and I got this weird cracking sound about maybe like 4,000 RPMs, where it was like, it almost sounded like a bracket cracking, like and when it did that, the power cut out. It was like stuttering, and so immediately I let off, tried to do another light pull. It did it again without the cracking. It just stuttered and it was cutting off about 3,300 RPMs, and it was not building boost at all. So that was a new issue, being the car ran really good with the new coil packs, the new plugs, and the Tomei equal length exhaust manifold. So what I ended up doing was pulling the plugs, regapping it, tightening up that gap. I also looked at the coil packs, and it seemed like a coil pack problem, because I did have a misfiring coil pack, a factory one prior to that, but this was not the same problem. The car would not even get out of first, it would die at a traffic light with a bad coil pack. These coil packs are brand new. This is the Ignition Projects coil packs. So it's not that. I highly doubt I had a lemon one, but you never know, right? So what I ended up doing was pulling the plugs, regapping them. I checked my fuel pump. I have a DeatschWerks DW300. I pulled the DeatschWerks pump out, checked the in-tank pump, the in-tank filter. That was fine, it was clean. I swapped out the pump back to the factory one because I thought I was having a fuel delivery problem. And I thought that only after I pulled the plugs. The color of the plugs was like, it was really hot. It almost looked brand new, but it was blue stained, like really hot, which was, you know, I was kind of freaked out. I don't want to blow up this engine. So after doing that, swapping out the pump, put back in the stock one, that didn't cure it. I reset the ECU multiple times prior to all this happening. That didn't do it. Well, let me go back. I reset the ECU several times when I first initiated the problem, and that fixed it. It ended up working good. I parked the car overnight. Next day, same problem. It would cut out about 3,300 RPMs, hesitation, just no power, was not building boost. So I reset the ECU several times, and for about 6 or 7 times it worked. And after that, it wouldn't do anything at all. It would not work. It was just, there was no power. The car idles fine, it runs fine. Anything under 3,000 RPMs or not building boost, it's fine. But what freaks me out is the color of the plugs. It's super hot. It's not even white. It's just like metal. So after looking at the fuel pump, I swapped out the DeatschWerks DW300 for the stock factory pump. That didn't work. I was gonna swap the coil packs back to the factory ones and take off the Ignition Projects ones. And while doing that, I ran into a new problem. You can't really see it here, but this coil pack connector totally disintegrated, and I was not able to swap out the factory ones. So I ended up ordering a new one from iwiRE, and we have that now. So this is from iwiRE, really good company that specifically works with Subaru harnesses, connectors, and whatever you need as far as wiring. I did end up getting a new DeatschWerks fuel filter. I also got a some heat wrap, a couple things. I got this gasket because I think this is a leak for the intercooler and the blow-off valve. That gasket, and then I got this just to remedy possibly a problematic T-connecting leak, which could also be a boost leak. But that being said, I really don't think it's a boost leak. I might just have to get a new tune, but I'm gonna switch out, working my way down, and the most affordable things to getting to the most expensive things. The most expensive thing I replaced was the MAP sensor. That was a pretty penny, and I don't want to even say how much I paid. It was ridiculous. But I replaced that, reset the ECU, nothing. Still has the same problem. I got a new fuel filter, we're gonna put that in, and I got the new connector for the coil pack. I'm still gonna switch back to the stock coil packs just to see if that is the problem. If none of this works, guys, I don't know. It might just be a tune issue, I don't know, but a tune is a lot more money than these little sensors. The little sensors do add up, but I'm just troubleshooting little by little all these little things that could be the problem, from just a little gasket that might be causing a boost leak, to a cut or a hose with a hole or something loose, to gapping the plugs, to checking the fuel pumps, swapping out filters. So we're gonna figure it out and work our way down. If you have this problem with your Subaru, you can watch this video. I'm figuring out on my own. I tried to look on the computer, see, you know, on the internet what causes what. There's so many issues. There's not really any real answers. It's so many different things, and it's so much different cost to yourself by running through these list of things. So I'm just going from the least expensive all the way down, and we're gonna do this together. I hope this is it. I don't want to have to spend hundreds of dollars on something stupid, but we're gonna get through this. Stay tuned and let's jump into it. All right. All right, guys. So you're gonna want to remove this plate here. Once you get to the plate, you'll see all these different nuts holding it on. Just remove everything around. Disconnect this breather line. Disconnect this fuel line. Return. These two are pressurized, so just change it after the car has been sitting for a while. You don't want to change it like right after you started it, or you know, it's gonna spray everywhere. So just be aware. Have some rags and everything there just to soak up whatever does spray out or whatever drips out, because it will get all around here and cause a mess. So just have some stuff ready. Do not smoke or light anything around here, because your car will go up in flames and you're gonna hate life for that. Some people wear a mask or anything. You don't need to wear a mask. Just ventilate, just open your doors up, have your door open for your garage, get a fan in here blowing through, and you won't even smell the fumes. If you're just sitting here with everything closed, you will get high. So that being said, open your doors up, open the garage up, open that up, run a fan, and you'll be fine, okay? Just make sure nothing falls in here. So just be careful what you do. Don't drop anything in there. Don't get any crud in there. You do have a filter in the tank. I mean, if it's all small little things, whatever, but try your best not to get anything in here. So once you pull this off, just cover it and you'll be golden, okay? And so let's continue. I'm gonna remove all this, disconnect the lines, 1, 2, 3, and this sensor, and we'll continue. All right. Disconnect this sensor, or should I say it's right there? Just pop that out. Take off these 2 screw clamps and disconnect it from this little shoe that it fits into. Just pop it off, okay? But to get to this, I'm gonna have to remove this screw here. And there's one tucked away right in there. This one's a little easier. Okay. Just be careful when you handle this. You have connectors right here. You want to break that solder that's connecting it. So just put this out of the way like that. And that exposes the other screw that you need to take off. This one is a little harder to crack. Well, just give it a good. So this is what's going to hold on the body of the filter. Disconnect right there. Give it a good tug. There you go. And that's the in pump filter. Well, actually, it's in here. So we're gonna twist this off, open it up, and expose it so we can switch it out. Okay. So just have everything nice and tidy. Keep it all together. Don't stress this connection here. You don't want to bend this arm for your fuel tank level, because then you would have things showing up that it shows full tank but it's empty or halfway through because you bent the damn arm for the float. Okay, so go back to this when we're done changing the filter. Alright, so after taking this off, I needed a vise to hold the body. I know there's a certain tool to take this off from the factory, but I did not have. So these inserts go into each of these little channels. I just used a flat head to tap it out, and it slowly turns, and eventually I just kind of like lifted these channels up a little bit once you started getting the room of moving these inserts out. So it's like this, right? As you tap it, it starts coming out, and then by then you can kind of like pry it open a little bit. I'm just gonna twist this off and it'll pop out like that, and then you can remove the body. Pain in the ass is gonna be putting it back in and pinching these tabs back over the top of the plastic tabs. So we're gonna do that now. I'm gonna clean everything up, bust out the new filter, and put everything back on the fuel pump here, and then putting it back in the car. So got this off. This is the filter. You see, it's just like cardboard crap. This is the DeatschWerks filter. Apparently it's a 40 micron stainless steel filter. It does come with this spring, which this one doesn't, so I'm guessing it sits on the top, and we're going to be putting it right in here. And the O-ring is the same size, but this filter, as you can see, is much better. So I'll be putting that in here, and after we're done I'll show you the reassembly on the other pump and reinstall everything up. Got the filter in. The tricky part is the spring. Just need to get that lined up perfect. It doesn't sit anywhere, it just floats around, so it's a little tricky. Once it sits in that seat, it should be on it, and we can just put everything right on and twist it in. Lock the channels down and we should be in business. So let's go ahead and do that. Easiest way to put this O-ring on is just put it on the housing. Don't even bother with trying to seat it in here. You're just wasting your time. Just put it on the housing here. Just seat it good. Just make sure everything is good. Run your finger and your fingernail in there and just make sure it's flush and not twisted up. So we'll put this in best we can. Hopefully it works. Hopefully everything works out all good, and this fixes it. But my gut is telling me this is not the problem, so we'll figure it out. It is what it is. So we got the micron filter installed. I did have to pry these up and then tap them back in so it clamps them. The channel they sit in is kind of tricky, and they're plastic, so they can be brittle. So the way I did it worked. So we're gonna reinstall. So this backside goes on the plate over here. We're gonna put that right on the nipple here. Just weave this through here, same route we had last time. And we're gonna put on the nipple first directly to the filter housing. Okay. And then this shoe here goes on the bottom. It's probably easier just to put it on, then slide it in. Just bend the bracket a little bit and you can pop it right in. And just be sure, don't bend this arm. This is your float sensor for your tank. If you bend this, you're gonna have a half tank and it's gonna read full tank or quarter tank. It's gonna be off, so just keep that in mind. Don't let that be pushing on the ground. So just pop it in here like that. So. And we'll bend these brackets back in. You could probably just push it, but I do have one of these. I'll just bend it back up. Yeah. Snug. And then when you put it back in the car, we're gonna have to prime the fuel pump. So don't try start it, just turn your ignition on. You hear the pump cycling through. Give Give it like 5 to 6 cycles and the pump and the filter should be primed. You'll hear it in the car. You can tell when it's all primed. Hook up the sensor. Alright guys, so we put in everything else in the car. We're going to go for a rip to see if it cured itself, but we're going to prime the pump. So just turn the ignition on. Couple more times. You'll hear that new filter filling up with gas. And it's primed. Okay, so we primed the new filter up, pump, and fingers crossed. I hope this is it. We'll find out soon enough. Let me close the hood because we can't go anywhere with the hood up. Please, God Almighty. Let's take a little rip. I'll record when I'm there. I have a good feeling. I have a good feeling it was the coil packs. I think I need a tune to run those coil packs. It was running too lean and the ECU wasn't recognizing how hot that spark was. So this should be it. Fingers crossed, boys and girls. She feels good. She feels good. This is the best it's ever felt. I think the coil packs need a tune to run it. It's good. She's a ripper, man. She's a ripper again. Okay, I better stop already. Oh my God, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Subaru is back. Happy. God damn, it sounds good. Temperature is not bad. All right, well, we'll continue.